Hey guys, so I had a 4-day layover in London and I was very curious to find out what it takes to travel on a budget. This is another country where one might find it very challenging to finance their trip. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's get right into it. I landed in Stansted Airport and you have a few options to go from there. To go to the city, you can take the train for £20 or a bus for £7 to £9. If you have time and you're really on a budget, you can try hitchhiking from the airport car park. They have free shuttle buses that run from the airport to the car parks. I only had 4 days to explore and get a sense of what London's like. Because I was short on time, I chose the bus. It cost me £7 to get to Liverpool Street. As soon as I got off the bus, I took as many photos as possible. I mean, it was my first time in London. I walked to meet my first host who has accepted me through Couchsurfing for the next 2 nights. Couchsurfing is one of my favorite websites through which you can meet other travelers almost anywhere in the world. The idea is to share travel experience with your host. Your host will be happy to listen and share their experience living in the city or country you're visiting. Couchsurfing also has an app which is very handy when you're on the go. Anyways, spending 4 days in London, these are the things I found out. People living in London are considered to be wealthy as the cost of living is very high compared to anywhere else in the country or many parts of the world. You can tell right away when you're walking the streets and seeing what people are wearing or driving. London is known to be the capital of supercars. A lot of these cars are brought in by the Arabs. They come to London during the summer months to escape the heat in their countries. London is generally known to be safe, and a lot of people park their luxury cars on the side of the streets. Like this Rolls Royce parked in the city center. This is a $500,000 car, and you can't just buy it unless the dealer likes you. The driver won't be going anywhere soon with that flat tire. Roaming the streets on my very first day, I immediately noticed a lot of graffiti, or some of you might call it street art. Now, it's illegal to graffiti anywhere in London unless it is organized or sponsored. Whoever is doing it should have permission from the builder. I guess a lot of them get permission, or not, because you see it a lot. But let's face it, it does bring tourists and some of it looks pretty damn good. Just follow the rules and stay away from that old lady's house. Walking along the sidewalk, there is a good chance you will see glass blocks built into the sidewalk. It is these blocks that give free natural light to the basement of the building above. How cool is that? Yeah, it may take more time to incorporate such a feature, but I'm sold. I'm sold. Like most tourists, you're gonna want to see the Tower Bridge, London Eye, and Big Ben. Big Ben is still under renovation, but you can go see it anyway. These are the top attractions and they're worth seeing for sure. Pubs are also quite unique in London. If your budget allows, do go ahead and have a few pints. It was very tempting, but it wasn't on my schedule. The pubs are unique because of their old school design. They're usually inside a very old building with matching characteristics inside. A lot of them are decommissioned, but some still work. Others are turned into mini libraries, like this one. You won't miss them, especially if you're in the city center. You can find this gallery and many other attractions around the Trafalgar Square. It's free like most museums in London, and if you're not into art, it leaves something to do anyways. Some pictures like this one might leave you gazing for minutes, or even hours. This is one of the oldest royal parks in the capital. I was stunned to see such a huge variety of birds and small animals living in the park. Buses are a great way to see London while you're on a budget. They offer great views from the second floor, especially if you're sitting in the front seat. I took bus 42 that takes you over the famous Tower Bridge. You get to see a good portion of the city. And if you're a little sneaky, you can get a transfer ticket if you tell the driver you took a wrong bus.
Hey guys, if you ever take the wrong bus in London, you can get a transfer ticket. Just ask the bus driver, tell him you took the wrong bus, and instead of paying again, you get a transfer ticket that looks like this, and you just hop off, grab the other bus, grab the bus you need, and you don't have to pay again.
This will give you an additional hour to transfer to the bus you need. This is one of the tricks that can save you a little bit of money if you're looking to do a bus tour. Otherwise, it will cost you around £34 if you want to get an official sightseeing bus tour. You can also take the subway. London Underground is the world's first underground railway, and you should feel special boarding such a piece of history. Bus will cost you £1.50 to get on and spend no more than £4.50 for the whole day. The subway is £2 to £3 one way depending which zone you're traveling to. Using subway or bus, you will need an Oyster card that you can purchase at a mini market or any of the stations. The card is £5 and you can get a refund once you're done with it. As you already know, I travel on the budget. This helps me manage my expenses and I love doing it. So when it comes to food, the best way to save money is almost always going to be the grocery store.
Hey guys, it's my second day in London and I'm looking for ways to find cheap food, cheap meals, and I heard one of the ways is to go find Tesco or Tesco Express where I can buy a cheap ready-made meal. And while we're there, we're gonna go take a look at the prices in London. So far they've been pretty high since leaving the airport, and then looking at any cafe you'd expect to pay at least £2.50 for a coffee, £10 for a meal. So we're looking for cheap meals. Let's go see what we can find. Let's go check out Tesco Express. That's just right there.
There's usually enough made meals to choose from, or you can make something yourself. Depending on your situation, whether you're staying in a hostel, renting Airbnb, or couch surfing, there is usually the option of cooking yourself. You're bound to save a lot of money this way. But not only that, you will be forced to cook, which means you will be learning how to cook. And if you already know how to cook, this is a good time to learn different recipes of the country you're visiting. No better motivation than that. You're also very likely to learn from others around you. The cheapest and the most convenient stores I found in the city center were Sainsbury and Tesco Express. Once you leave the city center, you are more likely to find Lidl, which is even cheaper. So London is known to be relatively safe, right? They have cameras on every corner of the city, right? This also includes many cameras on the bus. And out of all the countries and cities I've been to, this was one I was worried about the least, which is why I lowered my guard. I left my small backpack under the seat when I went up to the front of the bus to get a closer look. I wanted to record awesome footage for you guys. I left my stuff one row behind and I started filming at the front of the bus. About 10 minutes later, I looked back and my bag was gone. There was only 2 other people on the bus behind me. One person I had to wake up and ask him what happened, and the other person was gone. So take it from my personal experience. Remember that no matter how safe the city or place may be, there will always be somebody there to steal your stuff. Pay attention and continue to keep your guard up wherever you're traveling. Now I needed new gear. I needed to buy a new backpack. I went to Decathlon, one of my favorite stores on the go.
Hey guys, whenever you're traveling and you need new clothes or gear, come to Decathlon. T-shirts, backpacks, shoes, whatever you need for backpacking. Because it's cheap, it's budget-friendly, quality stuff for a fair price. This is not a paid advertisement, this is just a word of advice. Let's go check out the store, see what's out there, see the prices, and see what you can choose for yourself next time you come here.
Decathlon is in 49 countries and you have a very good chance of finding one wherever you go. My first host in London was great. We shared many stories. We took turns cooking. On my first day, my host made a meal which had couscous, blueberries, pork, and almonds combined in one dish. I was a bit surprised with this combination, but it was delicious. It was very nice to have someone who lives here to show you around.
So, it was just sunny. We were walking for about the last 30 minutes. Great sunny weather, and all of a sudden turned rainy. Just about to get worse by the looks of it. And this is what's known to be English weather. Welcome to England. So grab your umbrella if you don't have a rain jacket. Grab your rain jacket if you don't have an umbrella. Make sure you're ready.
I was grateful for such a companion.
Hey guys, so I'm at the London Eye. Finally made it. The weather is better. We're sitting here. We're about to have a snack. I got some sandwiches.
Don't mention the beer.
Don't mention the beer. We went to Tesco Express, like I showed you before. Great way to travel cheap, save money. That way you could also add a beer while you're at it, right?
Hey guys, I hope you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. On my next episode, I'm gonna start interviewing others. These are people that are willing to share their life or their lifestyle with us. We will have a chance to imagine the life of others. I'm pretty excited to share this part of my travels with you. Stay tuned for my first guest. He has left home when he was 15 years old. He has traveled to more than 187 countries and he's been kidnapped twice. We'll see you next time.